This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. A little news, a little information. Matter of fact, I'm going to start with a story. Half of Americans carry spare underwear. The reason I'm starting with that story is because the second headline makes me want to hang myself.
Okay.
What?
Over half? Is that
Over
what
half?
you said? That means
Half
one of
Americans
us.
carry.
Technically two.
Yes, that's right.
Spare underwear in our pocket right now.
In your pocket. That's exactly right. Spare underwear for what emergency is that?
To be fair, of all the emergencies to be prepared for, that's probably like the most important one.
Yeah, no poop.
But I would say, like, I don't have an extra spare of, like, briefs just out in the glove box or whatever ready. Like my spare, it's like a spare tire, just like spare tire, extra socks and extra underwear. Now I can leave the house to go grocery shopping. Like I'm not doing that all the time.
Yeah, well, there you. Well, here's the story.
Okay.
I'm starting with this story on purpose because there's some real stories. Why? This is a real story.
Yes,
but it's ridiculous.
It's hard-hitting journalism right here.
But the top headline of the morning on every national broadcast, I'm like, you have got to be pulling my sack. Honest to God. But so we're going to ease into it with this. This is what we're going to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you go through a mental checklist before walking out the door to make sure you don't forget anything? No, I do not.
I do.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, for keys and wallet.
Yeah,
like
phone,
you do the
wallet,
quick
keys,
tap my
Yeah, phone, wallet,
pockets.
keys.
Yeah.
Phone, wallet, keys. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm even pissed off about that. Like, stop coming down on me with all this crap. I got enough to do. According to a survey, nearly half of all Americans carry backup. I can't even read this without laughing. I'm sorry. But I'll try to do it straightforward. According to a survey, nearly half of all Americans carry backup underwear. See, I'm sorry. I cannot read backup underwear. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Backup underwear with them, and the reasons why include in case they poop themselves. Well, why else would you?
Yeah, and also like, so let's say
And they're only
you do poop yourself.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm going home after that.
Oh, yeah.
There's no situation where like 'cause
Oh,
there's
yeah.
probably other people around that notice this as well. So this isn't like just go to the bathroom and change your underwear because you probably need to change your pants. You got to clean up. Like just go home and start again tomorrow.
Yeah.
There was a kid in our neighborhood, and I will not say his name because he had some difficulties emotionally. Let me put it that way. Well, I'll just make up a name. It'll be, you know what? P. Diddy's not using his name right now. I'll just use the name Diddy. That'll be good.
Okay. So you were friends with Diddy as kids.
Yes, a different kind of Diddy, though. That had to do with Diddy, like, carrying backup underwear, that kind of Diddy. we were playing a little baseball at North Commons Park, right there in lovely North Minneapolis, and about once a week there would be one guy, and it was always the shortstop would say to one kid after, let's say he got a single, and then the next guy up got a single, and he went all the way to third. After the play was over, I can use a nickname because it doesn't identify anybody.
Okay.
The kid's name was Mad Dog. The reason the kid's nickname was Mad Dog is because he was nuts.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mad Dog or some bitch, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, Mad Dog is at first base. There's a hit up the middle, so Mad Dog goes from first to third. As he goes by, the shortstop says, "Mad Dog, you pissed your pants again." It was like every day he would yell at Mad Dog for peeing. He did pee his pants every day. And I don't know why. Why would he do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Especially baseball. You got a lot of time in the dugout where you can,
Right.
If you're playing at a park, go find a tree or the outhouse or whatever you got to do. Like, come on now.
Of all the sports with a lot of downtime,
Right.
like the worst one to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna
Right. Marathon runner, that makes sense. Yeah. You know, because you can't stop the race. But come on, baseball, just sitting there with your sunflower seeds, you got time.
Yeah.
Now, this just shows you how even keel I am, because on the very, very same piece of I'm sorry, that's not true, because that was at North Commons. This would have been at Cleveland Park, which is up just off Lowry Avenue in North Minneapolis. I can fully confess to my own problem, because I grew up in North Minneapolis, and there was some skating going on, but not very much, you know, that kind of deal. So I got a pair of skates from, I don't know, my grandmother or something. I got a pair of skates for Christmas. So we go back home from Long Prairie, Minnesota. We go back home. I go to Cleveland Park. I'm going to show off what a good skater I am. Never had skated in my damn life, right? Never. So I put my corduroys on so I could stay warm, of course. There's no question about that. But so I put the, and they're those, they kind of look like hockey skates. You know, the guys' skates that kind of look like hockey skates, those.
Yep.
It was those. I'm guessing at this one, but I think I got about 15 feet out onto the ice when I went into that, you know, that deal where people start whipping back and forth because they're going to fall down.
Yep.
I went into that. I fell down, and the blade on the right skate went right up my butt.
Yep.
I will never forget that as long as I live. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. There's some blood. There's no question about it. But I think it kind of glanced off the side while it was going in the chute.
Yep.
So that's where it got cut. But yeah, it was a real throw. I had to throw those corduroys away. I will tell you that.
Fair enough.
That would have been a good day to have an extra pair of underwear.
Absolutely. Extra pair. That's my exact point. An extra pair of underwear would have been perfect that day. But was I thinking ahead? No. I dropped the ball. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a new like turn of the century type of thing where when Tom, when you were a kid, nobody was thinking or even had the image in their mind of like, you know what, I need an extra set of underwear. And then as soon as Y2K, boom, extra set. Always, wallet in one back pocket, extra undies in the other. Done.
What he's talking about, according to a survey, nearly half of all Americans carry backup underwear with them. Nearly half. I don't know of one person that claims to carry backup underwear.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could see maybe you have like a job where you're very active and you get sweaty. And so you're like, okay, it gets a little swampy. We want to change some stuff.
Swampy.
Or,
sure.
You know, maybe you spill something on yourself. That's a good, but like, I don't know. Does that happen frequently enough where I have to every day leave the house with one?
Well, does this count for like people who plan to go to like the gym after work and are going to bring an extra set?
Well,
And maybe they're like, I guess technically I have an extra pair on me. So the person with the survey is like, this feeds into my narrative. Yes. Just standing outside the gym. Sir, do you have extra underwear with you? Perfect.
Yes, I do. I always think ahead. The reasons they include, in case they have an accident, because they plan to change clothes during the day, like after going to the gym. Well, yeah, I suppose you would wear your underwear in the gym. Well, it depends on what you were doing, because if you're playing basketball or something, I don't know. I've never carried two pairs of underwear with me.
Some people get a little swampier down there for sure.
Well, that's true. That's a very good point. Some people do get swampy and others don't. Very good point. Mm-hmm. They're clumsy. They might spill something on themselves. You're so clumsy you can spill something on your underwear? How?
If your underwear is getting that wet from you spilling on yourself, either A, you actually just peed, or you're like swimming. There's no excuse. Like a cup of water is not going to do it.
I'm going with you on that one 100%. 70% of people who carry spare underwear say they have had it come in handy at least once in their life. So there you go. I never have had to deal with this, thank God. So thank you. Now, why did I open with that story? Because it's the dumbest story I could find.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. There's an entire, that's a national story, by the way. That's not a local story. That is a national story that you need to start carrying backup underwear. Right?
Everybody listening, go to your drawer, go to your dresser, grab that pair that's always, it's got a little holes, but hey, it's your good backup pair. Just throw it in your backpack, throw it in your briefcase. Just have it on you.
Oh, now here we go again. Jude's knocking on the door. Nana, what are you doing?
None of your business.
Oh, well, thank you. Now there's a marriage for you right there.
Well,
what are you
that's
doing?
what it should be.
None of your business. That's what I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you very much. He was, I heard him back there knocking on the door. Look, he comes in and then he just leaves. Does he shut the door? No.
Of course not. He just wanted to get on the underwear conversation.
Yep.
Jude, shut the door. Well, he just looks back at me. Yeah, screw you. So the reason I led with that story is the top story on the national news this morning, and I checked a couple of different channels, and it is on, it was on the 3 channels that I watched this morning. There's a big brouhaha right now going on. I had no idea this is true, but I'll lead into the story this way. In order for the two of you to fit into the story, you'd have to both become women. Okay. So Tevin and AJ are now women.
Mm-hmm. Fine.
Although you cannot work together anymore because according to national headlines in several different outlets, it is nearly impossible for black women and white women to get along. That's a national story this morning. Have you guys seen that story yet?
I have not, but there's when I walk around the streets of Minneapolis, it's just groups of black people or black women and white women fighting and arguing all the time. Yeah, so
there you go.
Agree more.
So you couldn't agree more about this. That black women and white women, are we ever going to get over skin color?
No.
Is it ever going to happen?
No, it's Bloods, it's Crips, it's Romeo and Juliet or whoever, and then white women.
The
and there we go, and the Capulets, and then
there you go,
black women.
But that's the leading national story on television this morning was the fact that white women and black women cannot get along. Not,
do they say why?
Yeah, is there a root reason?
Do they have an ex that they're fighting over?
Well, maybe little research. Guys could look it up and see if maybe there is a national lead story on it and why they think it is that white women and black women cannot. Is it because more white women date black men now, so therefore they're kind of getting in black women's way? Is that what it might be over, like, say, 50, 60 years ago?
Where did you originally see this? Just so I can maybe go find it.
It was on Fox, CNN, and OAN News. All 3 of those.
Let me try to do a little research here.
We're actually working this morning, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think of that action?
We're gonna try. I'm not gonna strain myself, but
they just Googling why do white women and black women
not get along? What the? So you're having a hard time finding it?
Yes, it's not unfortunately the lead thing right now that I see. I'm seeing like Meta is getting rid of fact checkers. The biggest threat in the GOP majority in Congress is a historic trend. Bad news for home buyers in the Northeast and Midwest.
Yep, saw that.
What's the bad news?
Let's find out.
The bad news was I think there's a port.
Potential home shoppers in the Northeast and Midwest may be in for disappointment despite signs of cooling in the year's intensively competitive housing market. A new report from Zillow says some areas will stay especially competitive this year. So if you're looking to buy a home, basically, you're not going to get any sort of discount.
Yeah, and the pace for new home construction has slowed, they're saying. Or
really?
Struggling to keep up with the demand, so.
Is that because white women and black women can't get along? Is that why?
They're fighting over materials, and you've got more lumber than I've got lumber. And we're all on a strike.
I just thought that was how I woke up this morning. I got out of bed, brushed my teeth, put on a little deodorant, clean up a little bit, walk out, sit down, turn on my TV, and that's the first thing I hear is that black women and white women do not get along.
Yeah, and I want to know how they came to this conclusion, and how.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's not gang fights of black women and white women or these huge arguments. So it feels like a narrative that is just kind of created. And are there some white women and black women that don't get along? Sure. But the same way there's a bunch of other people that are just random that don't get along. So
AJ, did you check out CNN?
Yeah, that was the second place I checked, and I said I found McDonald's biggest menu shakeup in years rolls out Tuesday.
I saw that too. McDonald's is not going to go with the hippie bullshit anymore. They said they will not go with the DEI stuff. They've completely changed their opinion on DEI, and they're getting rid of all of it at McDonald's.
Oh, sorry. I guess maybe this is a different article then, because this is about the new McValue menu category that's coming to menus today.
Yeah, but it's not about DEI.
I guess I'm not sure how that relates to the food.
I guess apparently there was some reference to inclusion in the food.
Ooh.
This is a hamburger that anybody having sex would like. Or I don't know what the hell that means. I've not, you know.
Never stopped me before, that's for sure.
See,
I don't want to eat that McDouble. It's a little too zesty for me.
A little too zesty for you. There are days in the news, whether it's national news. Well, it's always national news, actually, to tell you the truth. Whether it's on television or it's on this or on whatever. I just lean back and I go, thank you, God, for, I don't know. Yes, Catherine has to put up with my crap on a daily basis, so it's a big price to pay, but I got very lucky running into her when I did so early on in life, so I didn't have to go through all of this. My God, what a pain. If you ever, you don't have to use names.
Okay.
But if either one of you ever dated someone you ended up not being able to stand being around?
Ooh, I don't think so.
That's good.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I wouldn't say so.
Well, so see, that's good because some people, that is true.
Yeah,
That they together for a while and then they can't stand one another.
And I do want to just mention this. Kelly's kind of pushing back on this, and I'll look during our next break to maybe see if I can find a little more info on what this article is like pushing out as like the root reason for this. But Kelly writes in and says, all caps, BS. I'm white and work with two black women. We get along great and become great friends. So
Look at you, Kelly.
that way, Kelly.
Kelly.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with us. So Kelly works with two black
We got
women.
the clapping sound effect ready to go. More clapping. Imagine more clapping.
Mhm. And they enjoy the new McDonald's breakfast rollout.
Because it's all covered.
Everybody
for 'em.
can enjoy.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I suppose we better move along here. But yeah, that was the number one headline on national news this morning when I got out of bed and went, really, this is what we have now? We find out about chasing people's underwear, got the extra pair of underwear, and then you can't, can't have white women and black women hanging around. And then the white women, so far the white women have said that they can hang out with black women. We haven't heard from any black women hanging out with white women, though.
Yeah.
What do you think? What about that, Tevin?
Well, let me text a few black women and see if they have any white friends, and we'll report back after the break.
This is one of my favorite grandparent things to say. You people. You ever hear that when you were a kid? Is you people?
No, because it's a phrase that will every once in a while, like as a kid, somebody would say. And my favorite thing to do growing up in an all-white high school would be, "What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, and then to watch the. Oh no! I just meant
like those people over there.
No, I'm like, no, I'm.
I love it.
You're fine.
You people.
Can't really do that these days. People get
No, I suppose not. I suppose we better take a break because you people need to make some money, put it in your pocket at the end of the month. Is that what we're saying here?
Damn
You're
straight.
not wrong.
You like that one?
Yeah.
I do too, actually. It's time for Livia with exciting news. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to new Livia, the new Livia. Livia's taken weight loss to the next level. The same trusted team of registered dietitians, nutritionists, registered nurses you know and love now offers even more tools for success, including the latest in GLP-1 medications for qualifying patients. At Livia Weight Control Center, they do weight loss differently because everyone's needs are unique. You know that, which is why I like them, by the way, because everyone's needs are unique. We're not all the same. Their you-centric approach means a personalized, comprehensive nutrition and lifestyle plan created just for you. Now, this is kind of a personal part of it for me because I went yesterday because I've been doing a lot of walking. And I mean, I walk somewhere between 5 and 8 miles every day now. I love it. It's good for my brain and all the rest of it. But then all of a sudden I started getting some I don't know if it was ankle pain or heel pain or just some kind of weird foot pain or whatever. But I went to see this doctor, great guy. Matter of fact, his middle name is Jude, just like our dog's name is Jude, so that worked out really well. But in any case, my weight level has stayed really, really nice. And I want to drop down probably another, I would say 25 pounds, something like that. I want to get that going again. And it's worked out so well. And the foot pain thing just came from wearing the wrong kind of shoes. But it drove me to go see the doctor. And then the doctor tells me, my God, at this point in your life, you're in great shape. You're looking good. You're feeling good. You got no problems, all the rest of it. Well, losing that weight was a big part of it. I'm just here to tell you. So join today. Get 25% off Livia's award-winning program. Trusted local experts who have been helping clients lose weight and keep it off for over 15 years. With 9 convenient Livia centers, there's never been a better time to start. Visit livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA to schedule your free consultation. Don't wait. Let's make this your year to succeed. Livia, we do weight loss differently. It's time for Bradshaw and Bryant, and this time of year, something that we might not think about, slipping and falling on ice when you're out, or worse, someone slipping and falling on your property. Property owners are legally responsible for maintaining a safe environment for visitors. You can post a caution sign or de-ice the area. Failing to do either and somebody getting injured because of your lack of safety precaution can be considered negligent. If someone does slip and fall and suffers an injury, they have a certain amount of time to file a claim, or you lose your right to collect any damages for your injury. If this happens to you, contact an experienced attorney right away. It's free to meet to go over your case. Contact Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. I hope this never happens to you, but if it does, Mike Bryant is the one I recommend to all my friends and listeners.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom here for Wellshire. Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Love these guys. Known them for a long time. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Memory Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they are a family-owned local company conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They're the best staffed memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour. I'm going on a tour, as a matter of fact, this spring. Going to have a good time. That's all I'm saying. Set up a tour or learn more at WellshireMN.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. The lovely and talented Judd Zulgad now joins us. What's happening, Pally?
Not much. Not much. How are you doing? How
I'm
are
hanging
holidays?
in there. Happy holiday to you. The holidays were pretty good. They went. Matter of fact, they went really well. Except for Seiji, we talked about this yesterday on the family show. That Seiji was in the hospital for 3 days because he got pneumonia. So that wasn't great during the Christmas holiday. But you know,
No, that would not be a great way to.
the great thing about that is they put him on some kind of medication. Now he's 6 years old, and when they put him on the medication, they said, "We have to do this, but we have to warn you."
Yep.
He is going to go through 2 or 3 times a day about a 5-minute rage period, which is brought on by the medication.
Oh, wow.
I had never heard of anything, but it's true. He'd be sitting there watching. Bob, let's watch television. Would you turn the television on? So, yeah, sure, I'll turn it on. And it'd be like, Bugs Bunny. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I like Bugs Bunny. Is that Bugs Bunny? I hate Bugs Bunny. Why'd you turn? It's like, oh my God, where did that come? It's like, oh my God.
Like The Exorcist.
Walking on eggshells around the house, not to upset Sage.
The 6-year-old not happy.
Oh my God, did he get angry? But they said it's going to happen a few times a day. It only happens for a couple of minutes. It's brought on by the medication, but he would just go. Well, when we brought him to the hospital,
Yeah.
just after we got him there, so they check in and everything's good for all the rest of it. And all of a sudden he goes, okay, I know you want me to stay here for quite some time, and so I feel better. But I'm telling you, I'm staying here. But I'm only staying here for 30 seconds. Oh, okay.
Well, that's not going to work out.
A rageful 6-year-old is that's something to see, man. But he's very healthy. He's very happy now. Thank God. Oh, Catherine just shuts the door on me. She doesn't want to hear my story. I see
She's probably cleaning or something. She's probably doing something back there.
Working like a mad woman.
There you go.
That's a possibility. So what's happening with you, pal?
Not much. Not much. I'm sure you watched the Vikings on Sunday. Speaking of rage.
Speaking of rate, what a horrible performance that was.
Yeah, that was really bad. That was really bad. The quarterback crashed back to earth, and now we'll see if they can get him back for the Rams game in the playoffs next Monday night. But yeah, that was a brutal performance by the offense. It was a brutal performance by the quarterback. The defense actually played pretty well. I mean, they gave up 17 points to a really good team through 3 quarters, but yeah, that wasn't what we were hoping for when we spent all week talking about the game that was going to decide the number 1 seed in the conference.
Right. Well, I want to ask all 3 of you this situation. There are things about that team that I just do not understand. How you can win that many games and then turn around and look that horrible. They were horrible, not just lame or not quite as good as they should be. They were horrendous at every turn. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen our receivers drop more balls. I've never seen more balls that were thrown in the wrong place. I mean, the whole thing was just, from top to bottom, was horrendous.
Yeah, it was absolutely. They didn't. I mean, starting with the quarterback, they looked like the stage was too big.
Yeah, good point.
He looked like he was in a panic from the start of the game, which would be understandable if he hadn't played so damn well for the majority, of the season. It was disturbing, and I think it showed you a window into why he's probably not the quarterback long term here.
No, I don't think they'll re-sign him.
Because you can't get to that game and have that performance.
Yeah. There were multiple times where, like, the one that sticks out, I think it was early in the first quarter, he had Addison kind of on the right flat.
Yeah.
And you could see it on the TV. You're like, oh, like, he's going to throw it there, touchdown. And he, like, looked, didn't throw it, and then came back and, like, threw it out of bounds or something, or, like, missed Jefferson in the back of the end zone. And so there were moments like that where it felt like he was, like you're saying, Judd, the stage was too big. He's kind of overthinking things. And it's like, no, just grab the ball and do what you've been doing all year, and we can win this game.
It was very difficult. I did not watch the whole game. I watched the first 3 quarters, and then I said, honey, look, I know there's a football god out there, and I want to thank you for all morning show people in the entire United States that every Viking game, if you're a Viking fan, every Viking game is the last and latest game of the week. It's like, again, it's Monday night. 7:15 start, something like that?
Yeah, I think that's great.
So 8:15 out east. It's like, what? Why does every Viking game have to be the last game of the week? Why?
They're popular now.
I guess.
Actually, wait till next year. If you think it's bad now, wait till next year, because they actually didn't have a lot of primetime games this year because the team was expected to do nothing.
Right.
Next year, they're probably going to get about 5 of those suckers.
All right, I'm asking all 3 of this situation because first I'll make an observation that I made to Tevin and AJ yesterday, and then I'll move on to the second part. Judd, even though I was 1,500 miles away, I don't think I'd ever want to fight the head coach of the Detroit Lions.
Oh, God, no.
Holy God, does that guy look tough. Man.
Yeah. No, I think it's legit. I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he'd probably be among the coaches, like, if you had to fight a coach, I would not want to go near Dan Campbell.
No, I'm telling you, that boy is big, man. And he gets this look in his face like, I'm going to kill you.
Tight end. He played tight. He still looks like that, like he could go suit up and play tight end.
Yeah, if there was like a gladiator type, drop every coach in the Coliseum death battle or whatever, he'd be the odds-on favorite to win that, I feel like.
Yeah, and that rubs off on the rest of his team because they're all extremely physical. Like they're not giving up, and that personality definitely permeates through the whole squad.
I think so. But I mean, you know how weird that felt to look at a guy 1,500 miles away on TV and go, boy, am I glad I've never pissed him off. God, it's like he's that big, and when he gets angry and he starts charging the refs, whoa!
Yeah, he's got that snarl.
He does.
He's got the snarl factor going for him. I agree completely.
Oh man, scary. Do the Vikings have any chance to go anywhere with this playoff series?
Well, they've got a chance to beat the Rams, but again, now we have to see. I think they can get the quarterback back mentally for a game, But the question, like, if you're saying go someplace, like win multiple playoff games, I now have far more doubts about that after what we saw. You know, Detroit's a really good team, but it's the playoffs. You're going to play some good teams that are going to be prepared. The other problem, I think, in the playoffs, and this really hasn't been solved completely, is despite the fact that Aaron Jones at running back has been a nice addition, I don't know that they have the running game to win playoff games, if that makes sense. Because they don't really have a run, you know. And Jones is always dinged up. Like he was hurt again at Sunday, so he had to miss some time. I think one of their primary things in the offseason is to find a running back who they can rely on and who's healthy and who can actually give them a threat, because they just don't have that threat right now.
No, you're absolutely right about that, and that really does hurt our receiving core. Because you got some good receivers, but if you don't have to cover the running back, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, well, and if you can't, you know, and the problem on Sunday night is if the quarterback goes south, you don't really have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, it would have been nice to hand off a lot because your quarterback is hyperventilating. And unfortunately, you can't. And I know O'Connell likes to pass, and that's fine, but I don't think even he could be so stubborn as to see the ball sailing over guys' heads. And if he had a running game, and if Jones was healthy consistently, that he wouldn't have said, let's just try to calm things down here a bit, instead of, you know, ball sailing over T.J. Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson's heads.
Yeah, it was something to watch. I don't know. It's the Vikings, though. It's my life. If there's one thing you can blame on me, it's getting to know Louie Nanny, and the North Stars never won the national championship. They're a hockey team in the state of hockey who's never won the hockey championship.
Got so bad they moved.
They moved, exactly.
They left
moved
town
to Dallas.
They couldn't take it anymore.
Every time you bring that up, Norm gave me a call. What's his name again? Norm Green. Norm Green.
Yep.
He said, Tommy, I want to get together and have some lunch with you because I'm thinking of doing something. I want to get your opinion on it and blah, blah, blah. You know, this is when the KQ Morning Show had like a 40 share, so everybody was afraid that I was going to say, oh, your team sucks or something. I don't know, whatever. Sure. But I met with Norm Green and a couple of other guys down at the old, right there on...
Met Center?
No, it was down in the St. Louis Park area. You know, all those great restaurants up and down.
394, yeah.
The avenue. But anyway, we're sitting there. But the one problem was, and I never brought it up to him, the entire hour and a half we were there talking about it at lunch, Norm Green had a nose hair hanging out about this long, and the entire hour and a half was like, so Tom, what do you think about what we should do? That thing was flagging around like there was no tomorrow, baby.
There is one thing, and I feel like it's not as prevalent as it used to be, but I remember when I was younger, the biggest thing that old men were never aware of was that
the nose hair or ear.
The nose. Well, the nose, because that to me that's worse. But it's like, dude, you got to go trim it up. Yeah. There's ways to cut those nose hairs, and now it feels like it's done more. But it's one thing I've been very cognizant of, because you're right. There's nothing more distracting than a nose hair flipping around as someone's trying to talk to you.
There's no question about it. There's no question about it. And I tell you, one thing I will tell you, though, and maybe the three of you know somebody that's been through this, I never knew this was coming, but I lost, what did I lose, like 80 pounds, something like that, whatever. Mm-hmm. My hair now, on my face, my ears, my nose, my hair grows 3 times faster than it used to. So when you're really heavy, does your hair not grow as fast or something?
I don't know. Never heard that one before.
I've never heard of it in my life, but I shaved last night and I got stubble.
Little
and
stubble
I never
already?
used to have stubble. Yes. It's like ridiculous.
I get the stubble quick. Yeah.
Oh, do you too?
Yeah, I get the quick stubble.
It's not fair.
Shave and then and then it's back and see which is why our age is smart. Age just grows the hair out, grows the beard out, Tom.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. I've had one haircut in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great.
Tip your head back. Let me see that nose hair.
He's good. See,
he lifts her up.
Did you say one haircut in the last 4 years?
Yeah, it was a point. It was 2020, December 19th. I got cut at Sports Clips. I didn't get a haircut until about 2 months ago. Like a legit sit down. They cut like about to the shoulders and everything. It made me look nice. But I actually probably need to go get another one here because it's crazy to think how that has now, like with the dead ends and stuff, that everything's grown a little faster now. So.
Do people think you're like Grizzly Adams?
No, I've never got a mistake for that. I either get like Jack Black or like Fat Jesus.
No, go ahead, Tom.
Very quickly, is this a good thing when your lawyer's calling you during your show?
I think
is that a good idea?
Yes.
It is?
I have no idea.
Probably.
Probably.
Early in the morning.
Probably not.
Cannot be good news, man.
Something. Who knows?
No. AJ, like I get the Jack Black, but I would say it's more of the Angus Sampson.
I don't know who that is.
Angus Sampson. Who's that?
He's in the Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. He's in
Okay.
he's in another show. He's a semi-famous kind of guy, but yeah, that's who you remind me of.
All right, I can see it.
All right, I can see it.
That's another white guy with long hair and a beard.
Well, now back in the day, I got to be honest with you, I could. Oh, Jesus. There must be something very important going on that I need to know about. We'll go to break in a second. During break, I'll call him back and find out. Maybe he found out that black women and white women can't get along. It was reported on the national news this morning. That's what he's calling about.
Massive brawl outside.
You find those bodies that you buried a few months ago?
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah, we'll handle it. It'll all work on the end. So, in any case, getting back to sports and life and life in general, I should say. So everything's good with you?
Everything's great. I was at the Wolves last night. They actually came back from a large deficit to beat the Clippers.
Good.
The Gopher basketball team, unfortunately, choked away a game in double OT to Ohio State and lost. So they remain winless in the Big Ten.
Winless?
Yeah, so, they're winless in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Ben Johnson's pretty much guaranteed to be fired then?
I think, yes. I would guess it's probably going to be his last year. That's probably.
Can we get Jim Dutcher back?
Brian, his son is coaching in San Diego still, right?
He is, yeah. I think he is.
I think he just signed a contract there, but there was definitely a time where I think Brian Dutcher would have been a realistic target. I don't know who you're going to get now. That's a good question.
It's going to be very, very difficult. We've had some good coaches over the years. I was a huge – well, first of all, I love that arena. I just love that place.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I played in a couple of pickup basketball games and charity games on that floor. Of course, Don Shelby had to show off and shoot everything from 45 feet away. Did you fall
off the floor though? Because a kid fell off.
I know
a player fell off last night and actually I think bruised some ribs.
Ow! Well, it is about what? It's about a 2-foot fall, isn't it?
It used to be. It was, or I guess it could be still, one of the great intimidating factors. Opposing players hated that floor.
Oh yeah. I love it. I absolutely love that stadium. I love the floor, all the rest of it.
Us old school folks do.
Yeah,
the kids do not like it.
Nah, tough titty. Go get your own then.
Kids want a new arena.
Yeah, go get your own arena. You pay for it too. You got it? Where are you getting a gallon-sized cup to drink out of? Man, that is a big cup, brother.
It's a coffee mug. I need a lot of coffee.
I understand.
I got to stay awake all day long.
All right, we're going to talk to you again tomorrow, though.
Yeah, you will indeed. You will indeed.
Looking forward to it, pal. Thank you.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Judd, Zulgad, SKOR North, ladies and gentlemen. I do love working with those two guys. What?
They're all right.
No, Tev's got this big smile on his face.
Because I look down in the chat and Chris Eggert's waiting, and he just says, LOL, Fat Jesus, which I assume he's referring to AJ.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
It's Fat Jesus?
So, all right.
This is what he said, called you Fat Jesus.
So maybe Chris and AJ are going to fight next segment.
No, I said that. Chris was listening to this.
No, I know, but we're trying to stir up some drama.
No,
it's good for the ratings.
I haven't seen Chris in two weeks and a day. I want to be joyful with him.
Yep.
No, but you just told me a couple minutes ago you never want to see him again.
Yeah, right, well, not after he called him Fat Jesus. Behind the back, no less. Not even on air.
We better go to break here and get this on the air before it blows up to be a much bigger thing than it already is. Right. We'll take a break. Be right back. Chris Eggert, the thin Jesus, is up in a couple of minutes, so we're covered there. This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. You know that. It's because of you that they're making it through. Mike Lindell and his employees want to thank you for your continued support by extending. And by the way, I'm part of the people that want to thank you because I've known that whole crew over there at MyPillow for a long time. They've been through some tough times, and I'm glad that you supported them. It's very nice of you. Get standard classic MyPillows now for only $14.98. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98, but it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size. What about this? Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get My Body pillows for only $29.98, and you multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM, or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queen size $18.98, and King's only $1 more. Not only that, orders $75 or more ship absolutely free.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
No, I just wanted to tell you.
I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy.
No.
We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app, at TomBarnardShow.com, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I was just on the phone with my personal attorney. I just had to report a couple of things to him that, two of my coworkers got into a battle because one of them was a prick to the other one and called them names. And so, I'm trying to just get everything settled down over here. And he understood. So I just said,
I was the only one listening to AJ because he called himself Fat Jesus.
Thank you.
It's more fun if it's our story and our version of it.
The only screen is the only.
Try to turn this. What's that, AJ?
The only one who wasn't on the screen was the only person listening to my story. I think that says a lot about maybe how interesting I am.
That's true. It's
Happy
a very
New
good point.
Year, everybody. How are we?
Happy holidays to you. It is a happy new year, except for unless, of course, you're a Viking fan. That's not that great a new year yet, but we'll see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Eggert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. So just kind of looking at the news, I already brought up the story this morning, and I still can't believe it was on 3 national channels that apparently they've decided that white women and black women cannot get along. That was a headline this morning.
Who decided that?
These news agencies.
Well, what's the story? I didn't see this.
Well, it was out there. I saw it on 3 different channels this morning. Maybe they already yanked it off because it's such a bullshit. Maybe that's the reason they pulled it off.
I'm not familiar with it, but I'll look around for it. I didn't see that this morning. It wasn't on our news.
Well, I would imagine. I've already told that AJ and Tevin that they have new jobs. They both have to turn into a woman for tomorrow's show to just show that a black woman and a white woman can get along.
Yeah. So when you join us tomorrow, it's not the Tyler Perry show. It's me and AJ.
Medea does a pod.
Yeah, Medea does
a podcast.
I would thoroughly enjoy if Tevin and AJ were dressed as women for this show. I think it would add a new twist. As a contributor, I guess I'm just going to throw that out there in the universe, and maybe if Dan Seaman's listening right now, he might go, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's go with it.
There's a content idea here for like a RuPaul podcasting crossover.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll work on it.
Well, let me ask you guys a question, because I've seen all of a sudden the national programming and the promos, RuPaul's blown up bigger than ever. I mean, RuPaul's always been pretty big, but my God, RuPaul is everywhere now. What's that all about?
I don't have an answer for you to that, other than I have seen a lot of RuPaul myself. I can confirm that.
And what does RuPaul mean? What does Ru mean? Is there a meaning of Ru in RuPaul?
I always just assumed that was some variation of his name. His first name was Ru and last name was Paul or something.
Rufus might be his first name, maybe. Rufus Paul.
Actually, I think RuPaul is actually his name. It's RuPaul Andre Charles. Is an American.
Oh, his first name is RuPaul.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. That means my name would be Ta'am.
He's 6'4". Seems like I would have thought he was shorter than that.
Is that with the heels or not?
Oh no, 6'6" with the heels.
6'6" with the heels. Okay, glad to hear it. Is he a pretty? Well, I can't really because he hasn't had the sex change. Has he?
No, I think he's just a drag performer.
Yeah, drag performer. Yeah. So they haven't removed anything or any of that stuff.
No.
Okay.
And I don't know that that's his deal either.
I don't either. I don't know anything about RuPaul.
I don't think it is, because I see him as maybe not as often as not in drag as when he's in drag. So he must be pretty comfortable with both. Yeah, but I'm probably the wrong person to ask about this, to be honest.
Well, it's a possibility. So you're the person to ask, what's going on in the news, Mr. Eggert?
Well, let me give you a quick synopsis. Let's see. Some of the DFL lawmakers are threatening to not show up for the legislative session when it starts next week because they're squabbling over a tie in a special election, and that's going to be ugly. That if you want to read more, you can go to our website. I'm trying to give you just a cursory. There was a terrible earthquake in China last night or yesterday where like 95 people got killed. Facebook and Instagram are no longer fact checking anything. They've decided that they're going to have it community notes. So users will decide whether something's true or not.
It's like Wikipedia.
Or like Twitter, I think, has become now. It's basically them saying, no, we can't police all this crap that's out there. We're out.
Here's what I love. AJ brings up Wikipedia and stares at me with a smile on his face. Wikipedia, Tom Barnard. What a prick.
You just had to do it, AJ.
Everybody's on the same screen, so I don't.
They had to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God, Wikipedia has made up shit about me none of it is true, but they make it all up.
Yeah, well, at least you're there. I mean, somebody cared about you enough to create a page for you.
To try to ruin my life?
Yeah, and that's about all I have because I'm out of time, unfortunately. So sorry.
We're sick of you anyway, so that works out in the end.
I apologize for yesterday. While you guys were off for the last 2 weeks, I've been working every day, so I took yesterday off. So, yeah.
All right, you big baby. I mean, you wonderful person. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's good to see you all. Seriously, good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
And dresses tomorrow for all of us.
Great. Just like the Bosom Buddies.
The who?
Bosom Buddies.
Buddies.
God, that was about 40 years ago.
Bosom Buddies was you boys look that up. That was drag before drag. That's drag before drag was even a thing.
That's very true.
All right.
True. Channel 5's Chris Eckert brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. So he comes on, and 2 minutes later, I got to go. Yes, I understand. No question. What time is he supposed to be on by? Is he supposed to be on by 30?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll make sure from now on I get him on by 30. So then I can rail on him even longer.
Yeah, I know. Usually he's got to be on or like in a studio chair in front of a camera in like less than 30 seconds from now. So he's like sprinting down a hall right now.
But he's a handsome devil, so that covers up for it. You know.
Absolutely.
Why are you making fun of a guy running with one leg? I saw that.
Yeah. I'm not even thinking today. First the Wikipedia. That's 0 for 2. I'm going to just shut up before I say anything about temperature.
Why don't we take a break and be right back in a couple minutes right after this. This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you. They're making it through. Mike Lindell and his employees want to thank you for your continued support. By extending their wholesale prices on classic MyPillows, get standard classic MyPillows now for only $14.98. Yes, I said $14.98. I cannot believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98, but it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get My Body Pillows for $29.98 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now is only $14.98. Queens at $18.98 and Kings only $1 more. Not only that, orders $75 or more ship absolutely free. MyPillow, baby. That's all I got to say.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, the vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You horn tootin', ladies and gentlemen. This is a headline, and I am assuming that it's true because it's a national headline. Yesterday was National Bean Day.
National Bean Day.
That's correct.
N as in like a pinto bean or a black bean or something like that?
I guess so. Yes,
Okay.
I guess that's right. BEAN.
Yeah. Looks like
No lie, today is National Pass Gas Day. Is that true? Would you do some research?
That's pretty clever.
That's funny.
I like that.
I'll say that's funny.
But is it true? Because they're saying here that it actually is true. The Bean Day and then Fart Day is the next day.
National Pass.
It does say that. Yeah, that is these two things.
Yes. To celebrate, you're supposed to leave whoopee cushions around the house, read Walter the Farting Dog as a bedtime story, have beans for dinner exclusively, and have unicorn farts for dessert, which is, I guess, cotton candy.
Unicorn farts or cotton candy?
I guess so.
Yeah.
So,
I did not know that.
So if you're celebrating, let us know.
So it actually is today National Fart Day.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wonder because obviously, okay, somebody's like, "Hey, wouldn't this be funny to do National Bean Day and then National Pass Gas Day?" Like, what's the process for getting a national day? And like, it seems like it's probably pretty easy if we've got National Pass Gas Day. Like, can we get a national day? Like, just make one up and hey, we want October 4th to be whatever random day.
I'm on nationaltoday.com that has like when it's National like Ice Cream Sunday Day.
Sure.
That. They have a National Pass Gas Day timeline. So in 1900 BC, passing gas jokes comes to pass with a jokester making a farting joke in Samaria. In 1632, the birth of the fart, the word fart, is coined from the Old English term fiertan, meaning to break wind. In the 1800s, the rise of professional flatulists. Frenchman Joseph Puyol, with the stage name of Le Pétaman, becomes a professional farter, performing farting on stage for entertainment. And then 2013 opened Finland organizing the World Fart Championships on July 13th, 2013, drawing people from all over the world to view the spectacle of competitive farting.
What is it, your birthday or something? Is that why you said what?
What, like, why is like a world I was expecting this to be like, back in like the 1800s,
right?
World Championship of Farts, but this was like 2013. That's crazy.
Apparently.
So it really is National Pass Gas Day.
I guess so. I mean,
there's something for everybody.
Apparently, you can make a career out of farting. Flatulists have made a career out of it. In China, there are even professional fart smellers who have been trained to diagnose digestive diseases by smelling a person's fart.
Okay, I got to go home.
Yeah, I'm out.
How do you even do you go to school for that?
Well, and I guess because there's like the dogs that can smell
cordon poo.
Cordon poo. Go home.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Le cordon bleu. Oh, Jesus, what a child.
All right. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was gonna say, well, like there's dogs that can. Nothing's gonna topple the cordon poo. There's dogs that can sense like cancer or whatever.
Yeah,
so I guess you could say like if a human has a good enough sense of smell, but I'm not smelling other people's farts to try and diagnose something.
Not happening. Now, did you ever in your life as a child, a grown man, whatever the situation is, not realize that you were kind of a little, backed up?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it's in church, it's at school, you move your right leg to take a step and you let a fart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hate that.
One traumatic experience, I will say, that happened to me. I was in high school. I'm sitting in the back of a computer class, and I'm gonna fart one way or another. So I try to just very quiet. Nobody's gonna.
Sure.
Sitting there, and then kind of you can all of a sudden see the people in the front of the room kind of and start to look around, and then everybody in the room is looking around. I'm looking around too, trying to play it off. So I feel like everybody has those kind of moments where you're like, that's my bad, guys.
Yeah. Well, Tom, do you want to get a jump on tomorrow's national holiday? Because I've got it here for you.
So it's not National Fart Day 2 days in a row?
We go a little more cleanly tomorrow.
Okay, good.
January 8th is National Bubble Bath Day. So draw a bath for yourself and get all sudsy.
Now, can you combine the two where the gas that you're passing in the bath is causing the bubbles?
Yep, yeah, the bubbles from the farts. Yep.
Have you ever laid down a bunt and it was a little more liquidy than you thought it would be?
No, cannot say that.
Because some people go through that a lot, I guess.
I feel like I know when I'm going to have a rougher time going to the bathroom.
Okay, good.
Like, it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm going in there for war.
Yep. You're like, I had Thai food that's not sitting right with me.
That mac and cheese it's sloshing around down there.
Yep.
See, I just like the fact that this show approaches everything with esteem, class,
No, I mean, you tune into the first segment, we're tackling race relations.
Yes.
We're covering sports. And we're covering flatulence.
AJ vomiting, we're covering that. That's getting covered, so that's good.
Not spit out boiling hot coffee all over the audio board.
Well, I hope it's not boiling hot if you're chugging it down.
I gotta wake up.
Got some heat to it?
A little bit. It's chilly out here today.
All right. Well, we can take a break here because we can really. Here's what I like about doing the show the way we do it, because we have Josh Arnold on next and then Kristyn Burtt after that, and we can attack both of them for their bodily function. What do you think?
Well, if there's one thing I know Josh Arnold for, it's great financial advice and being a professional flatulist.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to find out right from the horse's mouth, as they say.
Or the horse's ass.
Yeah, maybe.
The horse's ass named Josh Arnold. That was really nice, Tevin.
No, I'm saying because it's flatulence. I'm not saying he's.
Oh, I see.
I'm just going to be quiet now.
Sure. Well, there went that advertiser, but we shall be right back. Josh Arnold will join us right after this.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you. They're making it through. Mike Lindell and his employees want to thank you for your continued support. By extending their wholesale prices on classic MyPillows, get standard classic MyPillows now for only $14.98. Yes, I said $14.98. I cannot believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98, but it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get My Body Pillows for $29.98 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including the standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now is only $14.98. Queens at $18.98 and Kings only $1 more. Not only that, orders $75 or more, absolutely free. MyPillow, baby. That's all I got to say.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday was National Bean Day. Today is National Pass Gas Day, which means, of course, it's time to bring on Josh Arnold. What do you think? I cannot hear any of you guys.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now I can hear. I couldn't hear any of the three of you, but now I can hear all three of you.
Well, must be snow in Florida.
Can you believe that Washington, D.C. got a foot of snow yesterday? Holy Hannah. A foot. That's a lot. Is that a lot for D.C.? I got to believe that's a lot for Washington, D.C. I would think.
That's a lot for D.C.
Yeah, I know my aunt lives out in Maryland, and she had to sleep at the hospital she works at because they got so much snow overnight they couldn't Jeez. Yeah, so they're just not prepared for it like we are here.
It's all true. So, Mr. Arnold, how have you been?
I have been pretty good.
I'm glad.
I have been pretty good. How can I not be good?
Well, that's true because, with your wisdom and your personality, how could it get any better?
That is true. I say with both of those things. That is true.
That's true about me.
That is true. I've been blessed with a lot of positive things.
I feel the
Maybe
same
not
way.
so much today in the marketplace, but overall, we had a very good year market-wise last year. So that to me was a positive. We again beat the S&P index. Not that happens every year, but it happens more times than not. We have to thank several of our bigger positions in Apple and Amazon and NVIDIA and a little company called Palantir for that. These companies, however, I'll say there's been some profit taking in these companies so far this year. And even Apple today got a downgrade to sell from one of the brokerage firms saying iPhone 16 sales are too soft. So they downgraded Apple to sell with a price target of $188 a share, which is about $55 lower than the shares are currently trading at 244 and change. I have a $300 price target on Apple shares. I think the potential not only for this phone, but for their services business is very, very good going forward. And I think the implementation over time and the uses for artificial intelligence, both from new applications that'll be available on the iPhone and on other Apple devices, is extremely high. Likewise, favorite Amazon, I think I have a $300 price target on that, based again on the uses for generative AI, not only on a retail level, but through the services that are available on some of Amazon's products, including this wonderful device that my wife bought years ago called Alexa, which she used to use for more than weather and music. She used it for shopping. And I don't know about Catherine, but when Jen was alive, she used that device a lot for getting product, and that product showed up just about every day at our house.
Yeah, we kind of got that deal going with Catherine's deal basically is, I heard her once I'm walking past the room, there's a door closed, and I hear her say, "Alexa, should I stay with Tom or not?" Which, I took that personally.
Oh, I'm sure. Now with the generative artificial intelligence feature, Alexa will probably talk back and discuss all of your fine features.
They're going to dig deep, huh?
Do they have that type of CPU technology?
Yeah, do they?
Well, yes, it's programmed in. And the more that Catherine talks about you, the more that Alexa gets to know about you. I'll say the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Thank you.
And then we can play some background music for that too.
Do 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 do. I don't remember that
That's
song. It's a
it.
good song.
And the next thing you know, you'll look over your shoulder and there's Lee Van Cleef.
God, I loved him. Good call. Lee Van Cleef. Loved him. He's a great bad guy, don't you think?
He's a tremendous bad guy.
Now, I do have to ask all three of you something. I suppose the market has something to do with this, but a lot of the amazing thing is for quite some time, and I want to get all three of your opinion on this, but Josh, I really want to get your take on this. For some time, Joe Rogan had the number one rated podcast in the world. And then I guess about 10 days ago, it fell to second place. It was taken over by, I don't even remember who the hell took it over. I can figure that out later.
It was Kylie Kelsey.
Kylie Kelsey, that's exactly right. That's who it was. Does she get political on her show? Or is it a show or what is it? It is a show, isn't it?
I don't believe so. I think she talks about kind of like, I haven't listened to it yet, but
Who is I'm so dumb.
She's
Is Kylie
Jason Kelsey's
Kelsey related to one of the Kelsey brothers?
Jason Kelsey's wife,
Yes.
who's Travis
Okay.
Kelsey's brother.
Yes.
Okay, so now, today I get up, I turn on the television. Neither of those two is the number one podcast in the world right now. And the reason I'm even bringing this up to you is it just got political, it got religious, it got totally away from business, completely away from business. The number one podcast in the world yesterday was the Rosary Podcast. Does that surprise you?
I'm not sure. What do they talk about?
Just praying the rosary.
What do you think it would talk about?
I don't know. Maybe
Hold on.
Maybe it's a show about cooking.
Yes.
A show about cooking. Listen, I did not grow. I grew up as Tom knows, in a Jewish and Catholic neighborhood.
Mm-hmm, me too.
So I do know a little bit, about that.
Right.
And Tom grew up in this wonderful neighborhood that was also Jewish and Catholic. And he didn't go to Catholic school, but I'm sure he, showed up at St. Anne's every once in a while.
St. Anne's and St. Joseph.
Play basketball.
No, I did go to St. Joseph's for 6 years and St. Anne's for 2 years. So I did through 8th grade. I went to Catholic school. What do you think of that? What do you think of that behavior?
Well, that would be behavior, and I'm sure that the sisters with that 1-inch thick
ruler
yardstick, they probably delivered some blows to you like they did to some of my friends.
You just gave me a great memory. I will never forget this as long as Now, this is a Catholic school in a very poor neighborhood in North Minneapolis. We're sitting in class, and an announcement comes on over the school at St. Anne's, the school alarm system or announcement, whatever the hell it is, that John F. Kennedy had just been assassinated in Dallas, Texas. And there was a kid, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking, sitting in a Catholic school, because John F. Kennedy was the first Catholic president of the United States. He cheered when he heard JFK had been shot and killed. She pounded him with that ruler like, oh my God, we had to go, okay, sister, let's settle down. Like, whoa, that's a hell of a memory. He cheered when he heard that a Catholic president had been murdered. Oh,
so you were in what, 8th grade?
Seventh, I think 7th grade. Yeah.
Okay.
God, what a memory! I can still see him cheering, and then I can see him crying his eyes out because she beat him to a pulp with that ruler, man. Holy God! I'll never forget it. So thanks for the memory today. So now we got beat to death day, National Bean Day, and Pass Gas Day. So that's good.
Well, yeah, it's a couple days ahead of my birthday. So
when's your birthday?
My birthday is Thursday.
It is?
Birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This is not good news for me. This is not good news for me. Your birthday is really bad news. You want to know why?
Why? You're going to be older?
Nope. It's my father's birthday, which
Oh,
means
my goodness.
the two guys I like the least were born on the same day.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing for you. Okay.
It is a good thing for
I'll
me.
give
You're
you
right.
here. Now we had a very. We'll give you some things here. We'll have to talk a little bit about the market here.
Okay.
Continued shares or continued concerns today with some economic numbers coming out that the Fed is not going to be cutting interest rates. As a matter of fact, the bond vigilantes have been pushing up longer-term interest rates, and that typically has, as interest rates move up, bond prices move down, but there becomes a fear for some of the faster-growing companies that could need money, such as technology companies, that they won't be able to fund their expansions without paying higher prices at the banks, higher loan prices, and that'll cut into their profits. So technology companies have gotten hurt as interest rates, have been moving up. So that is a fear, that is in the marketplace, and longer-term interest rates have been moving up and not down. A fear or concern that I've got is that the Fed, with inflation still very sticky due to housing prices not coming down, rent not coming down, insurance costs only going up. And between housing costs and insurance costs, that would cover close to 40% of the consumer price index. And then we add the cost of McDonald's French fries going up and other costs going up, and even the price of oil right now going up. Of course, you did hear that President Biden has put a kibosh on drilling for oil and gas along the coastline, which, okay, what are you following through with something that President Obama pushed for?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. But that, even though right now there's plenty of oil and plenty of gas, the ban of drilling is not a positive because of the belief that that could extend elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The other issue is that Biden also put a kibosh on shipping or exporting liquid natural gas to Europe. I'm thinking, well, geez, that's not a real bright thing to do, because that puts the Europeans still dependent on Russian natural gas.
Right.
Huh. Yep. Let's help somebody else, but not ourselves. But that's just another, we'll say, market concern, and could add to inflation worries. So the Fed overall is a concern.
I have a question for you. Why did they ban the oil, drilling for oil, the entire East Coast, wrapping all the way around Florida to the border of Georgia, but then Georgia, Mississippi, and Texas are not blocked from drilling, and then the entire West Coast, all the way from Canada down to California, it's banned again? Why did they leave Texas, Mississippi, and Louisiana open to this?
Well, let me think here. Let's see. Most of those states, are related to the Democrats, and the other states are related to, we'll say, are generally red states.
Yes, that's true.
And I guess the idea is that the blue states don't want to look at oil derricks or other drilling things in the ocean, and they're against pollution from fossil fuels, and they all want to use quote unquote renewables like wind and solar, to power their electric grid. But I guess the belief is that if there's any pollution, let it go to the red states, because then we can kill off all the red people. And once the red people are gone, the blue people can live in peace and harmony. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it. But
I'm being very facetious here.
But it was shocking to see that those three states were not blocked from drilling. I mean, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it, aren't you? Apparently not. Only when it matters to you.
Right.
Okay. I just
listen. Just bear in mind, it took a long time before a few blue states were able to approve putting windmills out in the ocean, because the place that they originally wanted to go were in sight of Hyannisport.
All right, that's right.
But once some of the leading citizens of Hyannisport passed to a different world, they said, "Oh, we can put those things up because we need them." The unfortunate thing is that some of the blades from those big, giant windmills, which run about 100 yards long, have fallen off. And when they fall off those windmills and come crashing into the ocean and they break apart, and you have all this fiberglass floating around in the ocean, it ends up in the fish.
Oh, sure.
And that's not so good. So it ends up hurting the fisheries. But I'll say that's a story for another day.
All right, Pally. So when are you coming down to see your mother?
Be the end of this month. I'll come down to see my mother. In the meantime, we'll have earnings from companies coming out starting the end of this week with Delta and a few banks. And by the end of this month, my favorite companies will be reporting at being Apple and Amazon. And in the meantime, the folks at the Consumer Electronics Show are seeing some wonderful new products being introduced, including some new gaming chips coming from NVIDIA that'll utilize artificial intelligence. It's going to be a new world for gamers. And
that is amazing. All right, sir. We shall talk to you later in the week.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's, do not constitute investment advice. And I am a paid endorser. So where'd Tevin go?
Wait, did my camera?
Yeah, your camera.
What the hell?
He's been
shot for like 10 minutes.
Now it's the wrong
Can you
one.
handle it? What were you doing with the screen blocked off?
Yeah, I pulled the shade here. I didn't want to see who was.
There we go.
All right, we'll take a break. Be right back. KB2 joins us right after this.
I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Yes, you are, ladies and gentlemen. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kristyn Burtt joins us. What's the latest?
So much going on in Hollywood.
Okay.
I'm going to brag a little, okay? This is my little humble brag on this. I had a clip. I had a literally 10-second interaction with Jennifer Coolidge at the Golden Globes, and it has gone viral.
Was that you?
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Wait,
I know.
What happened?
Jennifer Coolidge at the Golden Globes, I threw out a question because she was waltzing on by, because she spun around and looked at me, and I'm like, I better ask a question because she's not stopping for an interview. So, she was kind of waltzing by, but it was in slow motion. So I literally screamed at her, like, what's the best thing about being a woman in Hollywood in 2025? And she literally just said, we can finally eat. And then walked on by in her very Jennifer Coolidge way. And it has completely gone viral. People are finding it like all over the internet and sending it to me. And it is completely perfect because it's completely Jennifer Coolidge.
So is that Calvin's wife?
No.
Well, I'm
Meet
just
Jennifer
asking.
Coolidge from White Lotus, Legally Blonde.
Stifler's mom in American Pie.
She's in all those commercials now for like AT&T or whatever the hell it is. I'm Jennifer Coolidge. And
Best in Show. She's great in Best in Show.
I'm Jennifer Coolidge.
and apparently, is that not her real? People are like shocked because they say she doesn't sound like she normally sounds. Like, does she do?
She did the voice, at least for me,
Okay.
and like kind of the faces that you would expect out of Jennifer Coolidge. But I was like, if that's what I got out of the Golden Globes, I will take it. People actually, the one thing I will say, people said that was such a great question. And I'm like, I meant it to be more of a serious question of like, hey, like, we're getting to tell women's stories and blah, blah, blah. And she just was like, we finally get to eat. And I was like, so be it. Take that question and run with it, my friend.
Well, It's not all, it's not all a bad thing. Do you think?
No, it's a great thing. I was like, you want to go viral in this day and age. It is so hard to cut through the noise. A lot of celebrities aren't doing interviews anymore. I understand that. And when you're confronted with 250 media spots at the Golden Globes, how many interviews are you actually going to do? Like, you kind of pick and choose. Maybe you do one or two, or you do Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman does like what I call the waltz by, which is like, I'll slowly walk and talk, and if you're smart enough, you'll ask me a question and you'll get the soundbite, which is what Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones also do, which is great, because then you're like, great, we got an A-list star. And I got Nicole Kidman too, so that was a win too. But
why are people so angry with her?
With who? Nicole Kidman?
No, Jennifer Coolidge.
Who's angry with her?
People are just now realizing Jennifer Coolidge hasn't been using her real voice, and it's hitting them as hard as the reality of Santa Claus. They're all pissed off. She's got a fake. Was that what you were just talking about, the fake voice thing?
Yeah, I think it's like Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton also uses her baby voice, but if you go and interview Paris Hilton, she talks in a much deeper tone. Where when she does her little like public appearances, she's like, "Hi, la, la, I'm Paris Hilton." Doesn't
like
really talk like that.
And Mr. Miyagi is the same way, where like the wax on, wax off, that's not his actual voice.
Rest in peace, Mr. Miyagi.
Yes.
Was he dead? No. I mean, I'm looking at her picture right now. She's had some work.
As has every celebrity in Hollywood, male and female.
No, I understand that. Absolutely. No question. I mean, she's a very attractive woman, but she's got a look in her eye that I am not comfortable with. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I love her. She's mischievous. I think that's what I would call it. Very mischievous.
Yes. Well, the look in her eye is not, I would say, would not move away from mischievous.
I think you would like her, though, because she's a no BS kind of person.
Well,
and
I
I
like
think
that.
if you guys would go toe to toe, it'd be a lot of fun to listen to that interview.
So is she Canadian?
She's Canadian. She comes out of she's kind of in the group of like the SCTV, Eugene Levy, working with Christopher Guest. She did all of Christopher Guest films. So very funny.
They show her picture. She's 63 years old. August 28th, 1961, her birthday. And then the next person come up in the story is Wayne Gretzky. So that's why I just assumed she must be Canadian.
Yeah. If you ever saw Best in Show, which is, if people have not seen that film, add it to your list. It's a spoof about dog shows. And she's married to Eugene Levy. And everyone's a dog breeder or they compete in these shows. But Eugene Levy has 2 left feet. They're like, oh, and he has 2 left feet. And then they pan down and he literally has 2 left feet.
2 left feet, yes. That's a great scene.
So stupid, but it is so funny. And the way that these people, it's a pageant for dogs, essentially. So it's, anyone who gets into like title holders and pageants and things like that. Oh, gosh, that world is so ripe for making fun of.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of great stuff. The Watcher, Cinderella Story, Legally Blonde, 2 Broke Girls, American. Oh, she was the blonde in 2 Broke Girls?
No, she
was just in the show.
She was, she had an appearance here or there on the show.
Oh, I see. Okay, American Pie, The White Lotus. Was she in the scene where the guy's schwanz was hanging out?
Yeah, he's obsessed. You are obsessed with the
I really am.
hanging out on
I don't
White
want to look
Lotus.
at some other guy's wiener. I just don't want to look at it. Please, give me the warning.
It's like a pause in the show. Just next scene, wiener. Look away.
Look away, Tom.
Just totally disrupts all of the flow, all of the emotion. Just cuts. Warning.
You're right.
Wiener warning. Wiener warning.
Hey, I like it. See, I like that. Now we're talking.
But do you want like a boob warning too? Boob alert.
Nudity doesn't do much for me because I'm married to a woman I adore. So the nudity part's covered there. I adore my wife.
That's great.
It is.
I mean, that's great, but it's going to happen in movies no matter what. But White Lotus is a terrific series for people who haven't watched. There's 2 seasons out. Jennifer Coolidge is in 2 seasons of the show. Is an absolute delight in it. Season 3 is coming next month, so I'm looking forward to that.
God, it's just clicking right along. So she does not look 61 years or 63 years old. I'll tell you that.
What does 63 look like? I don't know anymore because I live in Los Angeles.
Well, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
I really get confused about ages because I look at some of my friends who live in different parts of the country and I'm like, oh, that's what 70 is supposed to look like. 60, 50, 40. I don't know anymore.
I understand. No question about it. Well, I'm going to have to give this a whirl because, I like a lot of stuff that she's been in. Seems like a nice person.
And she's a fantastic actress. Like just probably one of the best comedic character actresses of her time.
Plus she's 5'10", so I wouldn't want to piss her off.
No, I think you should try and get her on the show at some point because I think you guys would really have a fun, hilarious, and bizarre interview.
You think she'd do it?
I think she might. Why not reach out to her? Well, and here's my...
You know her. Tell her to put in a good word for us. You and her.
I know her. I have one viral clip with her, and now we're best buddies.
Yes, absolutely. I heard she's coming over for dinner.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, but I'll be honest with you. That's one thing about my job here that I love and being in this business and all the rest of it, because not a lot of morning guys doing podcasts can get people like Billy Bob Thornton to come on their show. And, I do love that about my life, that I've known all these people for all these years because of the morning radio show and all the rest of it, which, by the way, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about because radio is really depressing the hell out of me. It ain't doing well.
No. I mean, we could pivot. Kristyn, I know you said yesterday you had a Blake Lively story that you wanted to talk about.
Well, I think we should just kind of highlight and maybe tell all your listeners what you should look at in this case, because right now, I don't think it's a hard side like, oh, I'm on Blake's side. Oh, I'm on Justin's side. Right. As of right now, there are 3 legal complaints or lawsuits out there. One of them is the official legal complaint from Blake Lively alleging targeted harassment and sexual harassment on the set of It Ends With Us. And we did talk about this feud. I know when the movie came out about how they were feuding and everything. And then you have Justin Baldoni, who was her co-star and also director of the movie. He has filed a lawsuit against the New York Times because the New York Times is the one who blew this case open right before Christmas with her legal complaint. They had all the documents, they had all the text messages, and he is suing obviously for libel, saying that you shouldn't have this legal complaint because it's not officially a lawsuit and it wasn't public record. Someone handed you the documents. And then there is also Justin Baldoni's former publicist who is suing him also for the case because obviously it put them in a perilous position. I will tell you, I was working in the newsroom the day that this story broke, and TMZ actually got the legal documents ahead of the New York Times story breaking. So I took some of my information off of TMZ. Within moments of my story being published, I was contacted by Blake Lively's publicist with all the documents, and they're like, here are the text messages. So we updated the article with like her official statement, a link to the New York Times article, so that both sides felt like they were represented. But I was saying this was a fight for press from the get-go. Right off the bat, both sides were like clawing at each other. And my email was being inundated with emails. And let me tell you, this story broke on a Saturday morning over a holiday weekend. So this is brutal. I will say that 2 things can coexist at once too. Blake Lively doesn't have the greatest reputation in the industry. She's known to be a little bit difficult, but she could also have been sexually harassed. Justin Baldoni has like the golden boy reputation. He could also have done this to her because I think that these are 2 toxic people that came together, hated each other, and worked together and really fought for control. And the other sort of story that's going to play out in all of this is the crisis PR team that helped Justin Baldoni. The accusations is that they created targeted social media campaigns that attacked Blake Lively. This was very similar to what happened to Amber Heard in the Johnny Depp case. And the narrative against Amber Heard is still out there, very negative. And again, I think it's 2 sides. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think all of us should let it all play out legally, because Justin's going to be suing Blake in a countersuit. It's just going to get messy and ugly. And this will all be taught in college if you take a communications or some type of publication, a publicity type of course, and probably in law schools too, because it is so messy And it really shows you the level of crisis PR, how it's kind of reached a really negative level in both entertainment and in politics.
Yeah, God, it's so amazing.
So that's a big sort of like discourse of how that all played out. But I honestly think everyone's been asking my opinion, and I'm like, I'm taking the step back opinion on this because I don't think any side is completely clean.
Yeah. Where's Ryan Reynolds in all of this? Because obviously being married to Blake Lively, and he's one of the more kind of powerful, influential people in Hollywood. Has he just kind of been quiet and letting this play out, or is his team helping her out as well?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Tevin, because that is really another big aspect of this. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are one of the most powerful couples in the industry right now. They have unlimited amounts of money to absolutely bury Justin Baldoni if they want to. And there's a lot of allegations out there, and the timeline's really murky because this all happened during our strikes. And what wound up playing out is allegedly, I'm going to say that, Ryan Reynolds wrote a scene for It Ends With Us during the strike. He is a member of the Writers Guild of America.
Sure.
And that would possibly be someone who is a scab. And Justin did not know he had rewritten the scene. Blake actually announced it during the press tour after the film was in the can and out there for the world to see. Justin just thought that Blake was improvising a scene, when now reportedly it was Ryan Reynolds writing the scene for his wife to make it better or improve upon it. So that's kind of a situation that's very murky. Also, as director, Justin Baldoni did not get final edit, final cut, which is typical. Usually the director's cut is what you see out there.
Yeah.
Somehow Blake Lively got a producer credit and muscled her way with Sony to go and get her and Ryan Reynolds cut as the final edition that we are all watching right now on Netflix.
My God.
It is messy. That's why I'm saying like there's a lot of, and to play out all of this out too, Justin doesn't really have like the legal money that Blake and Ryan would have, but allegedly he's being backed by a billionaire who has invested in his production company, Wayfarer Productions. So now everyone's going head to head.
It's always about the money, isn't it? Always.
Ain't that the truth? So I know that was like a really long legal explanation, but I think that we'll follow this case kind of like we followed Rust with Alec Baldwin and things like that. We'll see how this plays out, because initially I thought, oh, they'll just settle this and have it go away. And now I'm like, oh, nope, this one's not going away.
I was talking to a guy that I didn't know him. He's from New York, but I ran into him at a dinner, and he was talking about, being, Tom, you've been in radio, what's it like being a public figure now? I said, well, I'm kind of on the back end of it, so it doesn't really affect me as much. But he said a lot of his stuff now has to do with everything that is perceived as sexual harassment. He said, if you walk up to someone and put your arm around them, that's very dangerous now. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feel that's. I guess now you just have to ask, like, if people, because people don't want to be hugged now, and
but I mean, I'm just talking about, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? You have
but
to
if you
ask.
hate the person, but if you hate the person,
I hate everybody. Like, so what can I do?
Right, or like if you're in a crowded area and you like accidentally bump into somebody, and you're like,
right?
Well, I actually just like my elbow touched her breast. Does she think that I was now trying to cop a feel as I'm walking to wherever? Like it is weird that that's kind of more of a conscious thought going.
It is now, yeah, it is.
And that's because men, and I'm talking about bad people who have taken advantage of women in the workplace and have actually grabbed your breast intentionally. And that's ruins it for the good guys out there that just accidentally bumped into you, and it was in a place that you're like, oh God.
All right, young lady, another brilliant report.
I'm trying to give you guys all the best. I just want to let you know that Doc premieres tonight on Fox. It'll be 8 Central. Great new series starring Scott Wolf and Molly Parker about a surgeon who gets into a car accident and loses the last 8 years of her memory. And it's her clawing her way back, and with the hospital politics and dynamics. Great show, really well acted, well written.
All right, I have to warn all three of you. I'm doing a speech tonight in front of a bunch of people in an auditorium that I've never been in, and I don't know any of the people, and you're all three going to get it. That's just how it is.
Perfect. Tell Catherine to clip a little video and
then we can start our lawsuit for harassment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, Tom was in Florida and I was in California, but it got too sexual for me.
We did talk about wieners today.
Yeah, see? There you go. Absolutely.
But I will say I was a willing participant in the wiener talk. So
okay, that's a good place to end the show.
Wiener warning.
Boy, look at the time. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to anybanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I adore working with you, sister. That's all I have to. She can't even talk anymore. All right, well,
it's all about the wieners now.
God,
we're making that a clip.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, that's going to do it. 10 minutes away from the family show. Thanks a lot.